There's one more point I want to bring out about the Yoruba tribe that I didn't mention in the previous video. So let me share that with you, friends, and then we'll go on and we'll talk about the Igbo or the Igbo Jews, and also a little plug about my new book coming out as well. But let me share this with you about the Yoruba tribe that I didn't mention in the previous video. If you go over to Strong's Encyclopedia Dictionary, this is the one that has this Hebrew and Chaldee dictionary of words that are in the Old Testament. And we think about the first king of the 10 tribe northern kingdom, that was Jeroboam. Well, this is how they pronounce it, obviously, in Hebrew, is Yeroboam. Now, the way we say it, we usually have four syllables, Yeroboam, four syllables. But notice here, friends, under 3379, it's three syllables when you pronounce it in Hebrew, and of course with the Y. So it's Yoruba. And some believe that the tribe of Yoruba came from Jeroboam's name. Some believe that the Yoruba tribe, that name Yoruba, came from the root, the etymology root word from Yeroboam. Yoruba. Yoruba. You feel me? You feel me, friends? Yoruba. Yoruba. So I just wanted to share that to you. So now let's go on to talk a little bit more today. Just want to let you know that I have a book coming out here very soon. It's going to be entitled The Line of Shem and the Seed of Judah. It's going to be 16 chapters, and we're really going to get into a lot of information. Just real quick, chapter 1 is entitled The Foretold Beginning of the Seed. So we're going to go into that, about the first prophecy in the Tanakh, or in the Genesis there, Genesis 3:15, the very first prophecy that foretold about the seed. Chapter 2 is going to talk about preparing the ark, how Noah was preparing the ark, because that had to happen in order for the seed to survive that flood. Okay. Chapter 3, we're going to get into the river of Eden. Then we're going to get into some biblical and historical references to African Jews and Israelites and Arab Hebrews as well. So that's chapter 4, 5. Chapter 6, we're going to get into King Solomon's fleet. You know, he had a fleet of ships with King Hiram, and they went all over. So we're going to really get into this about that gold. Where did that gold come from? Chapter 7, we're going to talk about Shem and Ham in the land of China. It's going to be deep. Chapter 8, we're going to get into the 7 daughters of Manasseh and some other sisters there back in the biblical times. We're going to talk a little bit about the biblical sisters and how they were a part of keeping that seed alive. Chapter 9, we're going to go into the relief of Lachish, and we have new information about that. So I'm very excited. The book will be coming out hopefully in a couple of weeks, in December here, in a couple of weeks for the end of December. It might go into January, but it will be available very soon, no later than January. And it will be on Amazon. Chapter 10, we're going to talk about the Hebrew scrolls, how they foretold who was going to be the coming Mashiach. We're going to get into historical evidence in chapter 11 that talks about, outside of the biblical text, what other historical sources speak about a person named Yeshua in the first century. So you're going to really enjoy that. There's a lot of historical information. This whole book, I'm just really excited about it, because there's just been a lot of research that I put into it, and it's going to be a lot of new information. And just to wrap it up here, we're going to talk about Christopher Columbus. Why did he take his third voyage to the Americas? Why did he take that third voyage? And then we're going to talk about the black Jews who were brought to America during slavery, new information about that. So I'll let you know when that book comes available. So now, let's move on. Now, the Igbo originated in, well, they didn't originate, but they ended up in Nigeria, particularly in this capital of Abaiju. There was a community of Jews there. The Igbos, they were dispersed to Jamaica, Cuba, Barbados, of course, United States, Belize, Trinidad, and many other places. Of course, the Igbo, they claim that they descend from Gad, which was one of the 12 sons of Jacob, which was the tribe of Gad. They believe that they descended from them, that Gad had three sons, Eri, Aroli, and Aradi. They have the same customs as the Jews, as circumcising their children on the eighth day. They refrain from certain foods, and they also mourn their dead for 7 days. So they're very consistent with the Jewish faith. And in Genesis chapter 46, verse 16, it talks about the sons of Gad. And you see there that Eri, Arodi, and Areli. But here's the point. Please put in the chat, or in the, who was Jeroboam?